Morning, everyone. And would you lead us in prayer, please?
Sure. Our Father, we take a moment to pause and thank you for all that we're blessed with on a daily basis. We pray as always that you will continue to bless our board, the employees of Union County, the citizens we serve. We thank you for all that we're given, and we pray that you'll continue to keep us safe as we leave this place today in Christ.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Toller, Commissioner Foster,
Here.
Commissioner Miller,
Here.
Commissioner Gould.
Yes. Having a quorum, I'll call the meeting to order. First thing on the agenda, we have minutes from regular meeting September 27th. Everybody had a chance to look at those. Any corrections or?
Move it, so presented.
I'll say.
Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Toller,
Yes.
Commissioner Foster,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Gould.
Public comments. Not like public hears. Committee reports.
And just briefly had a 911 meeting. And it was a short meeting, just to kind of bring you up to date on finances. We have $324,852.19 in certificates of deposit. We had $242,652.45 in the checking account, for a total of $567,504.63. I know Lee and Crystal the certificate deposit and able to get 2.8%.
That is correct, for 24 months.
Yes. That's very good.
Yes.
Anybody else have anything? I don't have anything either that I can think of. Did do the proclamation earlier in the week for the colon deal for 77. It was a pretty good crowd there. Kind of neat. You can get out there and see it. I think today they're celebrating the 150th birthday of show.
Thanks.
Yeah. Supposed to go out there this morning after this meeting, so we're going to do tours, different things all day long. So. Moving on, building permits.
We have one.
It's not here.
Parcel number 0507030551A6. It's at 772 Kaolin Road in Cobden. It's for Homer Cecil. It's a pole barn, previously subdivided, no floodplain, recommended for approval.
Any questions? Can I get a motion to approve, please?
Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
excuse me, Commissioner Toller,
Yes.
Commissioner Foster,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Gould.
Nothing under old business. Go on to new business. Approval of the bills. Everybody had a chance to look at the bills. Any questions or concerns? Move the bills.
Second.
Mr. Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Toller,
Yes.
Commissioner Foster,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Gould.
Next on the agenda is the contract renewal for ambulance service with Clearwave. I think we're gonna have to table that, as you do not have it, we need Daniel to look at that. Clearwave did not get it here like they said they would. I think, Grant, you wanna talk about that just a little bit?
She contacted me about a week ago, basically looking towards a 3-year renewal. The history with them has been good. We haven't had any problems or outages that I can recall. She actually told us, I guess it has to do with the market, the way things are priced, but Angie can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she said if we kept the contract the same, that the bill would actually go down by $50 per month. That's keeping the upload and the download speed with Clearwave the same. If we decided to double that speed, that the price would be exactly what it is now. So that's just a choice the board would have to make. I can tell you, we seem to be operating just fine on the speed we're on. So, maybe software has more demands down the road, I don't know, but as of right now, everything's okay on that. So I agree, I think probably you should have time to look at this and make a decision on that and move forward from that. So we've had good luck with it.
Morning. Morning. Well, as soon as we get the contract, we'll have Daniel review it, and then we can take it up, move on the agenda, take it and so forth, so.
Yes.
Next is ICRMT insurance renewal. And you want to say anything about this?
It's just our normal insurance renewal policy, same stuff as last year, updated vehicles removed, vehicles added on. And I did not bring it. It did go up, the total, but insignificant, not,
Like 2%.
yeah, it wasn't very much at all this year. So, which is nice because we've actually had some claims that we've turned in and some deer situation that we haven't been able to avoid. So, yeah. So, yeah, so the total annual premium for the policy is $208, and that is our workers' comp and our liability insurance, so combined together.
Anybody have any questions about it? It's pretty standard. I get a motion I'll make a motion for renewal, please.
Make a motion. Second.
Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Toller,
Yes.
Commissioner Foster,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Gould.
Yes.
Next on the agenda, intergovernmental agreement between the state of Illinois and the Illinois Emergency Management Agency and the County of Union. This is Dana's renewal. And this is standard procedure. Is this normally every year?
Yes.
Yeah, yearly renewal with the state of Illinois. So, I don't have any questions about it. I mean, like I said, it's just a matter of doing it, so. I'm a week up. I'm second.
Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Toller,
Yes.
Commissioner Foster,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Gould.
Image Trend software contract the ambulance service grant, again,
We are working towards a third-party vendor to report to the state. I think you're probably aware that last year we had a problem reported to us by the state of Illinois. It's all been straightened out since then. But we are working towards new software to do the reporting because there will be some new standards we have to meet on how we report these calls back to the federal government and so on, or if the system asks us for information. We are one of the few services left in the area that has not gone to a third-party vendor on this. So we have looked at 3 different companies. There's some other things we'll talk to you about in regards to this contract in executive session. But we have looked at this to be the one that we feel like is the best fit for us. So we'll tell you the rest of it when we get behind executive session, because that would have some concerns that we have to discuss with the sheriff's office.
okay. Again, we don't have an actual contract though, right?
We do have a copy of the
You have a
contract,
copy.
but it just came yesterday.
It just came yesterday, okay, so again, that's something that normal procedure, we would want Daniel to look at before we approve it and so forth, so, we can discuss that in a little bit, but we'll leave that on the agenda
Yes.
also.
That's fine.
Okay.
And I do have it, so I can review it as soon as possible.
Okay. Where Wolf Lake Fire Protection District, they're recommending the reappointment of David Livesey to his position on the board, whatever. I guess it would be the district. Any questions about that or problems? Motion, or I'll make the motion that we appoint David Livesey to continue his position on the Ware Wolf Lake Fire Protection District Board of Directors.
I'll say.
It actually expires, it expired in September of this year. So is that for a year? Three years? Okay, for 3 years.
Your motion's for the 3 years.
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Toller,
Yes.
Commissioner Foster, Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Gould.
I already passed you up on the agenda, but I'll go back.
Okay.
We put you first.
Oh, of course, the rain got me this morning, but I apologize. Okay, all right. So what I have prepared, and Angie, I apologize for not getting this to you, but I met with Angie and Grant last week. And we have, currently, the ambulance department has a 50 by 15. It's a 50 megs down and 15 megs up. And the rate with your 2 voice lines comes up to $349 a month. That's without taxes, fees, and little long distance that they have. We have some new options in place for them upon contract renewal. And I shared some information with both Angie and Grant, and they liked what they heard. Both options have a cost savings, actually. The first one, I can double their bandwidth. I can put them into 100 by 30, and that right there, you know, we were talking about applications and software and whatnot, everything needing more bandwidth. We can actually increase their bandwidth, keep their monthly billing right around the same, maybe $1 less than what they're currently paying. That is an option. Grant says that everything seems to be working fine right now. We can keep them at their current bandwidth solution, and actually they will have a savings of about $50 a month. So it is a cost savings. It's really up to you guys, whatever you want to do. You can upgrade the bandwidth, stay the same, or you can have about a $50 or more a month cost savings. Now, on an annual basis, that adds up to about $600 a year. Not a lot, but it's something. And I brought paperwork to show you guys. I did bring paperwork for signing as well. Angie was kind of thinking it would be a win-win with the cost savings. You know, I'll go ahead and pass this out. And I only made 6 copies, so I'll pass out what I've got. There's 2 different options here. You guys will have to share one if you don't mind, or just. Okay, yeah. So, you should see, I've got this. On option 1, what you're looking at, it's, the bottom line in the blue row is $299. This is the current bandwidth solution, the 50 by 15, and that's exactly what the rate would be. You would have your taxes and fees, but what we would do is we wrote down the voice lines, and we're offering unlimited long distance. The second option, the second page, we're increasing the bandwidth to 100 megs down and 30 megs up. Once again, I'm writing down voice lines and providing unlimited long distance. So both situations, it's a win-win. It just depends on if you want to upgrade now or, wait a little bit, see how it works, and upgrade later.
Do you currently have phone with them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, everything would stay the same. We wouldn't, and if you wanted to upgrade bandwidth, it's just a provision on our end. We don't have to come out and do anything for that. So it's pretty much the choice is keeping the revenue about the same. Actually, because it's an unlimited long distance, last month, your long distance charge was about $1.97. So there is a small cost savings if we upgrade the bandwidth. It's not a lot, but it's there. I just wanted to make that point.
For your conversations, right now, you don't need it, correct? I mean, the upgrade,
We seem to be operating fine on the speed we're on.
we can change any time.
You can upgrade during the time of the contract, yes.
If we need motion, I'd make a motion, we just continue with the same contract we have.
And then, yeah, as soon as the paperwork is signed, the cost savings would start probably on the next billing. So,
If you guys are comfortable, if you're wanting to make the motion, my suggestion would be make the motion pending Daniel's approval of the contract,
Yeah, I
because
still
he'll
want
need to
you
review
look
it.
at Yeah.
so the same bandwidth?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Have a motion and a second, pending Daniel's approval to continue the contract as is.
Sorry, right. Okay, where did Dale go? Okay. Do I have to wait for him to vote?
What's he do about that?
That's what I was going to do. I don't think it's a big deal, but still, him to be in here.
Just vote, notice that he walked out.
What page is it? No, that's fine.
And I did want to make, I'll go ahead and tell you this. On the term, the contracts that were signed actually don't expire. The internet doesn't expire for another 4 months, but because I'm doing it early, it's 36 months plus 4 months. So on the paperwork, that's why you got 40 months. And the same thing goes with the voice lines. It's a little bit longer. Actually, it expires the following October, 48 months. But,
And the discount starts now, not in.
yes, exactly right. Yeah, so it's a win-win for that. And then that is, that's the paperwork signed before. We haven't made any changes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It was following me in, so.
Yeah, it's raining a lot.
Fine.
And I put Max sign
Let's go ahead and vote.
Yeah. Okay. Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Toller,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Gould.
Yes.
As soon as he gives me the okay and so forth, I'll sign that and give it to you. So,
Okay, so should I, stick around, or should I just wait to hear?
I'll send it to you.
All right, sounds good, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Oh, I know.
Last thing on the agenda, fiscal year 2020 budget discussions. I want to start each meeting from here on out till the budget is finished. Same way we did on property taxes. Get an update from Angie where we are, if we've got an office holder or administrator or whatever.
It's moving right along. It always makes me a little nervous because until it all comes together, I can't really tell you where we're at because we have 100 funds, a little bit less than 100 funds, but they all feed in and off of each other. So it's really hard to tell you where we're at till we have been through all of them. Everyone has been great this year, cooperating, sending me the stuff. I think they can all tell as I get to their department because I start shooting off questions and a million emails, and everyone has been very responsive of getting right back to me with the answers, with their contracts or whatever I've needed. I am almost completely through the general fund, which is the largest one. And then I've already started on some of the special funds that go with those office holders. So for instance, when I did Lee's budget, I went over to her special fund, our automated fund, and did it also. We do have quite a bit of requests for capital that have come in. My suggestion would be we do it like we did last year. We see where we're at and we take everyone's requests, see how much money we have, sit down with you guys at an open board meeting, go through each item and decide which ones we can actually do next year, which ones that we'll have to postpone. But everything's coming together nicely. I'm thinking by our next meeting, if everybody's able to do it, then we should be able to pull it up, take a look at it, at least start seeing where we're at. Also by the next meeting, I'm hoping to have a budget amendment prepared for this year's budget to move some money. We have some stuff that has gone over that's going to need money moved to it, and other stuff that is under, and just to clean up our budget. The overall bottom line needs to stay the same, but we can move around between departments and between line items within a department. So that's what I'm working on, that at the exact same time. So the amendment will be ready for your next board meeting also.
Speaking of that too, I got a email from Rep. I guess Scott, FOP, they voted.
Yes.
Approved contract, so
Correct.
that's taken care of. Just like one more, which, has to get done in order to do a budget. So hopefully that's probably not going to happen until next month, but anyway.
Do you have an idea of how much the back pay's gonna be?
I don't know what it is. I've put it in, I do, it's in my office though.
Okay.
So, but we'll put the FOP contract on your next agenda also to get it approved. And Angela has already started on a spreadsheet for each of your employees and their back pay that she's going to send to you and Heidi to review ahead of time before we implement it. Make sure everybody's on the same page.
Okay.
Anything else, anybody?
I'd like to say one thing. Happy birthday.
Oh,
A little formality, I know you don't want, you don't want any more really.
Oh, I do want to.
Yeah. To count the time.
39 and holding.
Yeah. Thank you, appreciate that. Okay, I think we need to go into executive session. I don't think, well,
For security.
for security, okay. That's not on the list of things. Sale of securities and
No, it's not listed out on your agenda as one of the But it is one of the reasons you can go into executive session is for security.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to go
My
into
guess is
executive
it's-
session for discuss security.
Commissioner Pitts,
Yes.
Commissioner Toller,
Yes.
Commissioner Foster,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Gould.
Yes.